Hi 4G students, welcome to a new lesson for EPISD at home. Today is Tuesday, May 5th, 2020, and we are ready to do math again. And today, guys, we have part 2 for fractions. But before we get into fractions, let's go ahead and see the agenda that we have for today. We have a lot of things that we need to talk about, so let's go ahead and start with the first one. Summer school, that's the first topic that I'm going to be talking about today. Number 2, Miss Moody and Miss Mora. Number 3, that's going to be guided practice. That's going to be the time to do fractions. And number 4, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Cinco de Mayo celebration. I know everyone is talking about that today, Cinco de Mayo, and you might wonder what is all of that. So today I'm just gonna spend like 2 to 3 minutes to explain to you what is Cinco de Mayo. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the first one, summer school. And I know when you hear summer school, you are like, oh my goodness, I have to do summer school and my teacher doesn't want me to play. Oh, my teacher wants me to send me to school. OMG, what I want to do. Okay, guys, let me tell you that summer school is not for everyone. So what I did, I sent an invitation to 6 of you, to only 6 students. I'm not gonna say the names because I'm not allowed to do so. According to FERPA, we need to keep privacy, right? But there are 6 students that received the invitation yesterday. So right now, I'm gonna show you how you can register for summer school. So whether you are in summer school or you are not in summer school, you need to watch this part. And remember that summer school is not that hard. It's not that bad. I think it's a good time to review everything that you have learned in the school year, and especially in this time, right? I think it's gonna be a good summer, and summer school, guys, is gonna be offered via Schoology. So if you receive the invitation, if you're one of those 6, you are gonna be doing summer school here in Schoology. Not with me, it's gonna be with another teacher, but you're gonna be doing fun stuff, okay? So guys, so I told you that 6 of you got the invitation, right? So this is what you see for today's folder, right? You see the benchmark fraction page, you see the video, you see the fractions test, but only 6 of you got this folder. If you see this yellow folder, if you see it right now, that means that you need to go to summer school, okay? If you got this one, you need to show it to your parents. They already know, but they want to see it because they want to register your name into the program, okay? So let me repeat again. If you see this folder, you need to go to summer school. If you don't see it, well, you're good to go. Okay, so how do you register for summer school? Okay, so you're gonna click here, summer school. You open it, and here you have a document. You're gonna open the document, and this is the invitation. Show it to your parents, read it with your parents. It has the information that you need for summer school, but this is where you are going to register for summer school. You have it in English and in Spanish, so it doesn't matter which one you do. So if you feel better in English, do it in English. If you feel better in Spanish, do it in Spanish. But let me tell you, you have to do it with your parents. You have to do it with your parents, okay? So what I want you to do is to call your parents and tell, hey, let's go ahead and do the form for summer school. So you open the form, you just click on it. Do you see the little hand? You just click on it. You wait a little bit, And there you go. This is the registration form for summer school. So you fill all the questions. The questions are really easy. It's your personal information, your parent information. That's why I'm telling you that your parents need to do this with you. Your student ID, you you fill in all the information and you submit. Then after that, you're gonna receive a call and they're gonna give you more information for summer school. So if you're one of those 6 students from 4G, please do it today. Do it today, okay? It's gonna be a good time. I promise you, it's gonna be a good time. Okay, so once again, if you see this yellow folder in the folder for Tuesday, if you see this folder summer school, that means that you need to do it. Okay, you need to do it today. If you don't have it, well, don't worry about it. You're good to go. Okay, so that was the first topic of the day. Now let's go ahead and see the second topic of the day. Oh yes, Miss Moody and Miss Mora. Yes, okay. What about them? Okay, they are wonderful. We know they are wonderful. But the reason I'm putting their names right here, it's because they are going to be on WebEx today. They are going to be on the video conference today at 1 p.m. They want to talk to you about the resources that you can use for counseling, and also they want to say hi to you. So today, when you have your video conference with Miss Rojas, you're gonna have Miss Moody and Miss Mora in the conference, and they want to say hi to you, and I know you want to say hi to them, so today is a good time to do that. Okay, today at 1 p.m. on WebEx. Okay, so now guys, it's time for guided practice. Okay, so what do we have for guided practice? We have fractions, right? And the goal, the mission, the idea of today is to be able to compare fractions, to be able to see which one is greater, which one is less. If they are equivalent, that means if they are the same. So today we are gonna compare fractions. I want to teach you 2 ways to solve these questions. One of the ways will be using this document. Do you see this one, the one that is moving around? It's called the benchmark fractions reference. We can use this to compare fractions, and we can use another strategy that I'm going to show you later. And I don't know if you were paying attention, but you also have this in Schoology, okay? If you want to print it out, if you have a printer at home, do it. If not, you can use the other strategy that I'm going to show you right now. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the first one. Okay, so let me bring this down a little bit. Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. Okay, so the question says, Ayana and Namit are running in a race. After 3 minutes, Ayana is 2/7 of the way to the finish line. Namit is 3/5 of the way to the finish line. Who is further ahead in the race? Okay, so they are running a race. Those 2 ladies, her names are Ayana and Namit. They are running a race. We want to see who's winning right now. They have been running for 3 minutes, and we want to see who is ahead on the race. Okay, who is ahead on the race? So Ayana is 2/7. I'm gonna use blue for her, and I'm gonna use red for Namit, 3/5. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bring this reference paper, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shade in the fraction for Ayana, which is 2/7, right? So do you see the 7s? I see it right here. So 2/7, boom, right there, only 2. And now I'm gonna change the color, red, Namit, 3/5. Do you see 5ths? Right here, 1, 2, 3/5. Guys, now it's more clear. Who is farther ahead in the race? The one in red, right? Namit. So Namit is winning the race now. So guys, that's how you compare fractions. So we can say 3/5 is greater than 2/7. So Namit is ahead on the race. There you go. So if you want to see this example again, you need to pause the video because now I have to erase it to do the second one. Okay, good. So now let's go ahead and erase this. Let's take this away. And let's go ahead and do the second one. And I'm gonna still use the benchmark fraction reference page to do the second one, okay? Then for the other two, I'll show you the other strategy, okay? So the question says, two buckets are the same size. Bucket 1 is 5/9 full of water. Bucket number 2 is 3/10 full of water. Which bucket has less water? I want to underline the question. We want to see which one has less water, okay? So I want to use blue for number 1. Bucket number 1 is 5/9. And I want to use green for bucket number 2, which is 3/10. Okay, so I have my green color here. So bucket number 2 is 3/10. So I'm going to shade in 3. Do you see it? The tenths right there. And now I'm going to change my color to blue, 5/9. What are the nines? Right here. 3, 4, 5. Guys, this is really easy when you do it like this, right? So if you have the chance to print out the benchmark fraction page, do it, because as you can see, it is really easy. Now it's clear that 5/9 is greater than 3/10. That tells me that bucket number 1, that tells me that bucket number 2, because we need to go back to the question, right? Which bucket has less? I was thinking which one has more, but now the question says which bucket has less. Bucket number 2 has less water, right? Bucket number 2, yes, always go back to the question. Bucket number 2 has less water. Right there, guys. Right there. Okay, so if you need the example, go ahead and pause the video because now I need to erase it. Okay, let's go ahead and do the third one. So I'm gonna erase it. I'm gonna erase it. Okay, so I'm gonna move this out of the way, and I'm gonna bring down number 3. This one. Okay, so now you're asking yourselves, and you're complaining, and you're saying, Mr. Gonzalez, but I don't have a printer at home. How do you want me to print this at home? How do you want me to do it at home? I don't know how to do it. Come on, Mr. Gonzalez, you just give us hard work. Actually not. There's another way you can answer this without using this page. So for number 3 and number 4, I'm gonna show you a different strategy that you can use to solve this kind of questions. Okay, so I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller because I will not be using this anymore. Okay, so Pedro and Natalia play the trumpet. Pedro practiced 3/4 of an hour last night. Natalia practiced for half an hour. Who practiced longer? Okay, so they're practicing for music class, right? Just like you when you were practicing for music. So who was practicing longer? Who was practicing for more time? Okay, so here we have 2 students. I'm gonna use red for Pedro. Pedro practiced 3/4 of an hour last night, and I am going to use green for Natalia. Natalia practiced for half an hour. Okay, so now how do I do it? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use black to do this. I'm gonna draw 2 rectangles. You see? Do you remember this? Yes, I know you remember this. I'm making 2 holes, 2 rectangles, one for Pedro. I'm gonna put letter P for Pedro and Natalia. what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna divide the whole into pieces, right? But going back to Pedro, we want to represent 3/4, and for Natalia 1/2. Here you need to be really careful. You need to make the holes or the rectangles the same size. I know this is not perfect. Sorry guys, it's not perfect, but you try your best, okay? So 3/4. So how do I do it? I need to divide the piece for Pedro into 4 parts. So I cut this in half, then cut this again and again. Boom, right there. Then for Natalia, into how many pieces? 2, right? Just right in the middle. Okay, now I want to represent the minutes that they practice. So 3/4 for Pedro. So I'm gonna shade in 3, 1, 2, and 3, and 1/2 for Natalia. Guys, who practice longer? It's obvious, right? Now that you see it, is Pedro, because this piece is a little bit longer than this, so 3/4 is greater than 1/2. So Pedro, or Pedro, however you want to say it, practiced longer. Right there, guys. That's another way that you can solve this. But as you can see, you need something to see. You need a visual to answer these kind of questions, okay? So I'm thinking that you need a paper and pencil to answer this type of questions, okay? So let's go ahead and do the last one. So the same, if you want to see the example again, pause the video because now I'm gonna erase it. Bye-bye. So let's go ahead and bring the fourth one. The fourth question of the day. So I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. I'm gonna bring down the fourth one. Okay, so here on this one we have 3 students. It's gonna take a little bit of more time to do this, but we are doing the same thing, okay? Let's go ahead and see what they are asking in this question. Okay, Jean, Billy, and Madison each have a glass of water. Each glass is the same size. Jean's glass is 2/3 full. Madison's glass is 1/8 full. Billy's glass is 3/4 full. Whose glass is the fullest? Okay, so they are drinking some water. You know, now it's getting hot, summer, it's around the corner, and they are drinking water. And also you should be drinking a lot of water these days. Okay, so but going back to the question, I'm gonna use red for Jean. I wanna use green for Madison. I'm gonna use blue for Billy's. Okay, so what do? I'm gonna draw my 3 rectangles, right? Boom. Okay, that's not perfect. I know. They need to be the same size. Right there. I'm doing this, guys, just to show you that it's possible to do the question or the test without this page, okay? So I'm gonna put the letter J for Jean, which was 2/3. I wanna use green for Madison, the letter M, and 1/8, right there. I wanna use blue for Billy, B, and 3/4, right? So what do, guys? I'm gonna divide this whole Jean's piece into 3 parts, right? Because I'm going by the denominator. So 3 equal parts right there. Boom. Into how many pieces do I need to cut Madison's piece? Into 8 parts, right? So look how I do it. 8 parts. And for Billy, 4 parts. Okay, so now I'm gonna use my red color to shade in 2 for Jean. I'm gonna use my green for Madison. And I'm gonna use my blue for Billy. Okay, I don't know if you can see it right here. And going back to the question, whose glass is the fullest? That means which class has the greatest amount of water right now, and that's Billy's class. Do you see it? It's a little bit longer than Jean's. So Billy has the glass with the greatest amount of water. So Billy's glass is the fullest. Is the fullest out of the three, right? Out of the three. And right there, guys, we finished. So what do you think? Can you do this? Of course, yes. It's really easy. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to the agenda. And the last thing that I want to talk about is about the Cinco de Mayo. So I'm just gonna explain this really quick. It has to do with history, it has to do with social studies, but I promise you that it's gonna be something short. Okay, so the Cinco de Mayo. It's a celebration that people do in the United States. But when they talk about this celebration, they say the date in Spanish. Instead of saying May the 5th, they say Cinco de Mayo. So why do you think they say that in Spanish? I'll give you a moment. Yes, they say that in Spanish because it is a celebration from Mexico. Okay, sometimes students get confused and they think that the Cinco de Mayo has to do with the United States. Actually not. It is in the culture of the United States, but it is a celebration from Mexico. And the reason they do it is because the Cinco de Mayo is the celebration of the Battle of Puebla. That's when Mexico defeated the French army in 1862. France tried to do an invasion in Mexico, and guess what? Mexico won the war. It was a huge accomplishment for the government at that time. So now we remember Cinco de Mayo with a huge celebration because Mexico defeated France in 1862. Okay, so that was social studies for today, guys. And if you were paying attention, you're gonna get one of the questions right, because actually the last question is about the Cinco de Mayo. Okay, good luck on the test. If you have any questions, let me know, and enjoy your time with Miss Rojas, Miss Moody, and Miss Mora. See you next time. Oh, and before I leave, let me sign. The little monkey's right here waiting for me, Mr. Gonzalez. Okay, now I can leave. Bye bye. See you.